Good morning, dear students. In previous lecture, we have done with the joint probability concept, right? Now, let us move to the concept sampling. What is meant by sampling? Before that, we have to discuss some basic definitions: population, mean, sample, everything. Now, let us concentrate on some of the basic concept here. Sampling theory. What is meant by sampling theory here? It is necessary to draw some valid and reasonable conclusions concerning a large mass of individuals or things. Here, every individual or the entire group is known as population. Okay. Now, the small part of this population is known as a sample. That is, small element of the population, we can call it as sample. Now, what is meant by random sampling? A large collection of individuals or attributed or numerical data can be understood as population or universe. See, the large collection of individuals. Also, we can call it as population or universe. A finite subset of the universe is called sample. See, either you can write this definition or you can write this definition. Here, sample is nothing but subset of or element of the population. We can call it as what? Sample. And the large collection of individuals or numerical data, we can call it as population or universe. Okay. The number of individuals in a sample is called sample size and it is denoted by small n. Once again, the number of individuals in a sample is called a sample size or small n. The selection of individual or item from the population in such a way that each has the same chance of being selected is called random sampling. But here you have to remember three very important definition. First, what is meant by population? What is meant by sample? What is meant by sample size? Population is nothing but what? Here either you can write this definition or you can write this definition, that is a large collection of individuals or numerical data is called as population, and the part of the population or the element, small element of the population or finite subset of the population, we can call it as sample, and the number of individuals in a sample is called as sample size n. So these three definitions are very important. Okay. Now move to some more definitions. Sampling distribution. See, for every sample size small n, we can compute quantities like mean, median, standard deviation, etc. Now, obviously, these will not be the same, right? We have seen in previous lecture. Suppose we group these characteristics according to their frequencies. The frequency distribution so generated are called sampling distribution. Okay. Now, the sampling distribution of large samples is assumed to be a normal distribution. Remember this, the small sampling distribution of large samples is assumed to be normal distribution. The standard deviation of a sampling distribution is also called as what? Standard error, SE, standard error. Okay, we will denote this SE in future for standard error. Okay, now here you have to follow the concept according to the normal distribution only. That is, you have to standardize the given expression, then you have to apply the property of standard normal variate, SNV, right? Later only you can connect it to this chapter. Now, how to test the hypothesis? Testing of hypothesis. What is meant by hypothesis? In general, we can call it as hypothesis means statement, whether it may be true or false. Okay. Now here, making certain assumption to arrive at a decision regarding the population. A sample population will be referred to as hypothesis. Here in this case, the assumption to arrive at a decision, whether it is accepted or rejected, such type of decision. Now, the population regarding the population, a sample population will be referred to as hypothesis. The hypothesis formulated for the purpose of its rejection under the assumption that the statement is true is called as null hypothesis, and it is denoted by H naught. This is very, very important. Define hypothesis and define null hypothesis. What is meant by hypothesis? Here you have to write. Now, making certain assumption to arrive at a decision regarding the population. A sample population is referred to as hypothesis. Okay, and what is meant by null hypothesis? The hypothesis is formulated for the purpose of its rejection under the assumption that it is true, is called the null hypothesis, and it is denoted by what? H naught, capital H naught. Now, here we have to remember this table, that is type 1 error and type 2 error. When we say the type 1 error and type 2 errors. Now, errors. In a test process, there can be 4 possible situations lead to the 2 types of errors, and the same is tabulated as follows. Now, see here, first you have to assume hypothesis is true and assume hypothesis is false. So, there are 2 types of hypothesis, true hypothesis and false hypothesis. But accepting the hypothesis and rejecting the hypothesis. Now, here, when the decision is correct and the hypothesis is true, see here, hypothesis is true and the decision is correct, then we are going to accept the hypothesis. Okay. Next, hypothesis is true and wrong decision, then we are rejecting the hypothesis. See once again, hypothesis is true, correct decision, then we are going to accept the hypothesis. Hypothesis is true but wrong decision, that is rejecting the hypothesis. For this we can call it as type 1 error. Okay. Now, hypothesis is false and we are accepting the hypothesis when under wrong decision. Hypothesis is false, wrong decision, but still we are accepting the hypothesis, that is what? Type 2 error. And hypothesis is false and correct decision, and we are rejecting the hypothesis. So this is the table you have to remember. When we can call it as the error is type 1 error, and when we can call that error as type 2 error. Hypothesis is true, decision is false, and we are rejecting the hypothesis, that is type 1 error. And hypothesis is false, wrong decision, but we are accepting the hypothesis, that is type 2 error. So this you have to remember. This table is very important. You have to remember first what is population, what is sample number, here n. Okay, then after that we have to remember errors, type 1 error, type 2 error. This is very important. In order to minimize both these types of errors, we need to increase the sample size. Okay, small n sample size. Now, what is meant by significance level? This definition also very important. Significance level. See, the probability level below which leads to the hypothesis is known as the significance level. Once again, the probability level below which leads to the hypothesis is known as the significance level. This probability is conventionally fixed at 5% and 1% level of significance, or 5% can be written as 0.05 and 1% can be written as 0.01. So, under these two conditions only we are checking the level of significance. So, therefore, rejecting hypothesis at 1% level of significance implies that at 5% level of significance also, right? See, you are rejecting the hypothesis under 1% level of significance, means obviously it is under 5% level of significance also, right? So, there may be errors of either types, type 1 or type 2 error is 0.05. Because obviously it is rejected under 1% means obviously it is also rejected under 5% level of significance. Now, test of significance and confidence intervals. The process which help us to decide about the acceptance or rejection of the hypothesis is called the test of significance. Once again, the process which help us to decide whether the hypothesis is accepted or rejected, or acceptance or rejection of the hypothesis, is called as the test of significance. Suppose that we have a normal population with mean mu and standard deviation sigma. If x bar is the sample mean of a random sample size n, the quantity t is defined by here z equal to x bar minus mu divided by sigma by root n. Here you have to remember x bar is nothing but sample mean and mu is nothing but population mean and sigma is nothing but standard deviation of population and n represent sample size. So this formula is used to standardize, that is called standard normal variate when for population mean, sample mean, in that case we have to use this formula. Otherwise which formula we used to do here? Z equal to x minus mu by sigma we used to do. Here x bar minus mu by sigma root n. This is for population mean and sample mean. Okay, that is very important. Now from the table of the normal areas, we find that 95% of the area lies between, see why we have considered 95%? Because we have considered 5% level of significance means 95% of area lies between t equal to minus 1.96 and plus 1.96. Further, 5% level of significance is denoted by what? T suffix 0.05. 5% level of significance or 95% of area enclosed means it is denoted by T 0.05. And therefore, it lies between what? This Z lies between minus 1.96 to plus 1.96 or x bar minus v by sigma root n, which is lies between minus 1.96 to plus 1.96. Now multiply throughout by the sigma by root n, then what you will get? Sigma by root n into minus 1.96, which is less than or equal to x bar minus mu less than or equal to sigma by root n into 1.96. Or what we have to do? This minus mu, add both sides. So what we will get here? Simplify, you will get what? Sigma by root n into here minus 1.96 plus mu, which is less than or equal to x bar, which is less than or equal to sigma by root n into 1.96 plus mu. Or can we write it as mu less than or equal to x bar plus sigma by root n into 1.96 and x bar minus sigma by root n into 1.96 less than or equal to mu, or x bar minus sigma by root n into 1.96 less than or equal to mu, which is less than or equal to x bar plus sigma by root n into 1.96. Therefore, this representation we call it as 95% confidence interval. Here students, you need to remember only this part. After solving problem, you will come to know problems are very simple here. See here how to represent graphically for a 5% level of significance. 5% level of significance here exactly in between. This is mean, right? Mu. Here this area covered by negative minus 1.96 and this area covered by positive 1.96. So this is 2.5%. Again this is 2.5%. If you add to totally together, you will get 5% level of significance. Or for similarly for 1% here 2.58 something you will get, here also minus 2.58 something, here 0.05%, here 0.05%. Okay. Now test of significance for large samples. How to test the significance for large samples? Suppose capital N be the large sample having small n members. Small n represent sample size, right? Let P and Q denote the number of success and failure respectively. You have studied this in binomial distribution. P represent probability of success, Q represent probability of failure. So if you add both, P plus Q equal to 1. So by binomial distribution, This for large sample, what we need to do? Capital N, you have to multiply n into p plus q whole power n. Denotes the frequencies of samples. See here, there are two types of frequencies. One is observed frequency, another one is calculated frequency. Okay. Now, here capital N into p plus q whole power n denotes the frequency of samples. Therefore, capital N into p plus q power n denoting the sample distribution of the number of successes in the sample. So, let x be the observed number of success in the sample in a sample size small n, and mu equal to np. You have already discussed mu is nothing but n into p, and variance is nothing but npq. Already you have discussed in binomial distribution, right? That only here concept repeats. The standard normal variate z is represented by what? Z equal to x minus mu by sigma. This is the standard normal variate definition. That is nothing but what? X minus what is mu? Mu is nothing but np. What is sigma? Square root of variance. Variance is nothing but npq. So what is variance is sigma square. So what is standard deviation? Sigma. Sigma is nothing but root npq. So this is the definition of a we have used here binomial concept for standard normal variate. Now if z less than or equal to 2.58, this is for what? 1% level of significance. We conclude that the difference is highly significant and reject the hypothesis. Suppose the calculated value of z standard normal variate which is less than or equal to 2.58, then it is rejected. Okay, rejected hypothesis. So you have to remember this. We have the following test of significance. If z less than 1.96, the difference between the observed and expected number of success is not significant. And if z greater than 1.96, difference is significant at 5% level of significance. Similarly, z is greater than 2.58, difference is significant at 1% level of significance. You have to remember there are two values. For 5% level of significance, this value varies from minus 1.96 to plus 1.96. And for 1% level of significance, z value varies from minus 2.58 to plus 2.58. Okay. Now, let us discuss one by one problem under this. First one, let 1, 2, 3 constitute a population. We form the sampling distribution of the sample means in the case of first one case, random sample of size 2 with the replacement, that means n2, small n2, and second case, random samples of size 2 without replacement. Now, what is large sample here? Size of the finite population is what? Capital N, that is 1, 2, 3. So, there are 3. How to find population mean? Mu equal to 1 plus 2 plus 3 divided by 3. Right? That is what? 1 plus 2 plus 3 divided by 3 means 6 by 3, that is 2. How to calculate population variance? Sigma square. You have the formula sigma square, right? What is that? Summation x minus mu whole square, right? Apply that. What you will get here? First case 1. 1 minus 2 whole square plus 2 minus 2 whole square plus 3 minus 2 whole square divided by n, that is 3. So what you will get? 1 minus 2 whole square is minus 1 whole square, that is 1, plus 0 plus 1. So 2 by 3 is the population mean, right? Now case 1, what is given? Random sample size of size n equal to with the replacement. So what are the possibilities here with the replacement? Now what and all we will get here? 1, 1. What are the possible combinations right here? 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 3. See here all the possible combination you have to write. 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 3. Similarly 2, 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 1, 3, 2, 3, 3. So these are the possibilities, right? See, these are the possibilities. So how many possible number here? There are capital N power small n, that is capital N is 3, small n is 2, 3 square, that is 9 in number. Now, what is the mean of this? Take the average. 1 plus 1 divided by 2, that is 1. 1 plus 2, that is 3. 3 divided by 2, 1.5. Again 1 plus 3 by 2, that is 2. 2 plus 1 by 2, that is 1.5. 2 plus 2 by 2, that is 4 by 2 means 2. Again 2 plus 3 by 2, that is 2.5, and so on. Similarly 3 plus 1 by 2 means 2. 3 plus 2 by 2 means 2.5. Again 3 plus 3 by 2 means 3. So this we have to write in the tabular form. That is what is frequency and what is x. What is x represent here? 1, 1.5, 2, then 2.5, 3. No need to write it repeated terms. 1 appeared how many times? Only 1. 1.5 appeared how many times? 2 times. So 2 here, frequency. Frequency means number of times it appeared, the same value. Next, 2. How many times appeared? 1, 2, 3 times. So right here 3. 2.5 how many times appeared? 1, 2. 2 times. And what about 3? Only once it appeared, right? So this is the frequency distribution table for the given sample space. Now we shall compute the mean and variance of this frequency distribution. How to find the mean, variance and all? Mean is nothing but summation f x by summation f. Why? Because here frequency given. Therefore we have to calculate mean by summation f x by summation f. That is, we can call it as mu x bar. So what you will get? Summation f x by summation f. 1 into 1 plus 2 into 1.5 plus 3 into 2 plus 2 into 2.5 plus 3 into 1, like that. Divided by summation f. Summation f means sum of the frequency. 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1. So what you will get here? 6 plus 3, 9. So write that product of sums and divide by 9. So you will get 2. And how to find sigma x square? Summation f into, in previous case we used to compute only x minus mu whole square, but here summation f into x minus mu whole square divided by summation f because of the frequency given here. So what is summation f? 1 by 9. Now write f is nothing but first one 1, then 1 minus 2 whole square. See here 2 is fixed, mu x bar is fixed now, x is nothing but from this table. So 1 minus 2 whole square plus 1.5 minus 2 whole square plus 2 minus 2 whole square, like that. So you need to compute, say, into f. So simplify here, you will get 1 by 9 into here 1 plus what here 0.5 you will get here 0, here again 0.5, here 1. After simplification you will get 1 by 3. So what is mean here? Mu equal to 2. What is sigma x square? Sigma x square is 1 by 3. And what is sigma square by n? Write down. That is sigma square by n. N is nothing but 2 again. So 2 sigma square by 2. That is, we will get here 1 by 3 you will get, right? Now case 2, what they given? Random sample of size 2 without replacement. So without replacement means how many combinations? Once you selected the item, it should not be repeat. Without replacement means. So we have how many possibilities? Out of 3, we are selecting 2. So 3 C2 ways. That means 3 C2 means what? 3 factorial by 2 factorial into 3 minus 2 factorial. So we will get only 3 samples. What are those samples? 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 1. See, 1, 2 combination different, 2, 3 combination different, 3, 1 combination different. So it is not repeated term here. In previous case with the replacement, what happened? Everything repeated, right? So 1, 1, 1, 2, like that. 1, 1, see, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3. But here that case is not possible in the case of without replacement. So what is associated means? Again 1 plus 2 divided by 2, that is 1.5. 2 plus 3 divided by 2, that is 2.5. 3 plus 1 divided by 2, that is 2. So what is mean of this? 1.5 plus 2.5 plus 2 divided by 3, that is 2. What is variance? Sigma x square is nothing but what? 1.5 whole minus 2 whole square, then plus 2.5 minus 2 whole square plus 2 minus 2 whole square divided by 3. Calculate, you will get 1 by 6, right? Now here this one, those who are finding difficulty, you can leave this without replacement concept. It is not that much important, but with the replacement is very important. Okay, so here what we will get here? Mu equal to 2. So how to compute sigma x square now? Now capital N minus small n divided by capital N minus 1 into sigma square by n. This is the rule to compute sigma x square. Just replace capital N value is 3, small n value is 2. Now n minus 1 into sigma square we already found. Just replace. Now find out sigma x square, you will get 1 by 6. Okay. Now, those who are finding difficulty, please do not refer this without replacement concept. Okay. Now, next move to the next problem. A population consists of 5 numbers 2, 3, 6, 8, 11. Consider all possible samples of size 2 which can be drawn with replacement from this population. Find a mean and standard deviation population and the mean and standard deviation of the sampling distribution of means, and considering samples without replacement, find the mean and standard deviation of the sampling distribution of means. Okay. Now, first population mean is what? What are the 5 values given? Population mean is nothing but mu. And what are the 5 values given? 2, 3, 6, 8, 11. So add that all. 2 plus 3 plus 6 plus 8 plus 11 divided by 5. So you will get 6. How to find out population variance? Sigma square. What is the formula? 1 by n into summation xi minus mu whole square. What are x values? 2, 3, 6, 8, 11 are x values. And what is mu? Already we found 6. Just to replace back here. So what you will get here? Sigma square is nothing but 1 by 5 because n sample size is 5 numbers given. So small n equal to 5, right? So 1 by 5 into what? 2 minus 6 whole square plus 3 minus 6 whole square plus 6 minus 6 whole square plus 8 minus 6 whole square plus 11 minus 6 whole square. Now simplify this. 2 minus 6 whole square is nothing but what? Minus 4 whole square, that is 16. And minus 3 whole square, that is 9. Here 0. Here 2 square means 4. Here 11 minus 6 means 5. 5 square means 25. So add all this, you will get 54 and divide by 5. That is 10.8. Now we need to find standard deviation. What is standard deviation? Square root of variance. We have found the population variance. Now square root of this gives standard deviation, that is sigma equal to root 10.8. Now second question what they given? Let us consider all sample of size 2 with the replacement. So capital N equal to 5 and small n equal to 2 because sample size they have given 2 with the replacement. So there will be how many possible combinations? N power n. So 5 power 2, that is 25 possible combinations. So what are those? That is combine each and every term with the each and every term. Relate that. Say 2 2, 2 3, 2 6, 2 8, 2 11. Similarly 3 2, 3 3, 3 6, 3 8, 3 11. Similarly 6 2, 6 3, 6 8, 6 11, like that. So all 25 possible combination you have to write. 6 2, 6 3, 6 6, 6 8, 6 11. Next 8 2, 8 3, 8 6, 8 8, 8 11. 11 2, 11 3, 11 6, 11 8, 11 11. So these are the 25 combinations when with the replacement of 2 samples, right? Sample size. Now, what are the means of these samples in respective order? Find out. So all the possible combinations you have to find for the this one. See, you have to add 2 plus 2 divided by 2. Similarly, 2 plus 3 divided by 2. 2 plus 6 divided by 2. 2 plus 8 divided by 2. 2 plus 11 divided by 2. Like that. You have to find the what? See, mean. So you will get 2, 2.5, 4, 5, 6.5. Similarly, for the next, find out 3 plus 2 divided by 2. 3 plus 3 divided by 2, 3 plus 6 divided by 2, 3 plus 8 divided by 2, 3 plus 11 divided by 2. So you will get the second combination, see 2.5, 3, 4.5, 5.5, 7. Similarly for the third one what? 6 plus 2 divided by 2, 6 plus 3 divided by 2, 6 plus 6 divided by 2, 6 plus 8 divided by 2, 6 plus 11 divided by 2. Similarly, you have to calculate it for this one, mean 8 plus 2 divided by 2, 8 plus 3 divided by 2, 8 plus 6 divided by 2, 8 plus 8 divided by 2, 8 plus 11 by 2. Similarly, 11 plus 2 divided by 2, 11 plus 3 divided by 2, 11 plus 6 divided by 2, 11 plus 8 divided by 2, 11 plus 11 by 2. So that you will get what? These are the possible combinations of the means. So now how to write all the means you have to collect. That is what starts from 2 and ends with the what? 11. So 2, 2.5, then 3, then 3, after that 4, then 4.5, then 5, 6, 6.5, 7, then after 7 here directly 8. After that 8.5, then directly 9.5, then 11. Now you have to check 2 appears how many times? Only one time here. Next 2 point appeared how many times? 1, 2, okay, twice. 3 appeared how many times? 3 appeared only once. 4 appeared how many times? 1 and 2, 2 times. 5 appeared how many times? 1, 2, yes. Similarly 5 appeared 2 times. 5.5 appeared 2 times. 6 appeared only one time. See here, only one. 6.5 appeared how many times? 1, 2, 2 times. 7 appeared how many times? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 times it appeared. Similarly 8 appeared how many times? Only once. 8.5 appeared once, twice. 9.5 appeared once and twice here. 11 appeared only once. So these are the frequency distribution table. Now how will you find out mu x bar? That is summation fx by summation f. So 2 into 1 plus 2.5 into 2 plus 3 into 1 plus 4 into 2 plus 4.5 into 2 plus 5 into 2 plus 5.5 into 2 plus 6 into 1 plus 6.5 into 2 plus 7 into 4 plus 8 into 1 plus 8.5 into 2 plus 9.5 into 2 plus 11 into 1 divided by sum of the frequency 1 plus 2 plus 1 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 1 plus 2 plus 4 plus 1 plus 2 plus 2 plus 1. So what you will get here? Summation fx we are getting 150 and summation f we are getting 25. So what is 150 by 25? You have to find, that is mean here, right? Mu x bar. So that is we are getting 6. How to find sigma x square? There are two formulas. Either you can use this one, summation f x square by summation f minus mu x whole square. So actually this is the easiest method. Now summation fx square, so 1 into 2 square plus 2 into 2.5 whole square plus 1 into 3 whole square plus 2 into 4 whole square plus 2 into 4.5 whole square plus 2 into 5 whole square plus 2 into 5.5 whole square plus 1 into 6 whole square, 2 into 6.5 whole square plus 4 into 7 whole square plus 1 into 8 whole square plus 2 into 8.5 whole square plus 2 into 9.5 whole square plus 1 into 11 whole square, right? Divided by summation f we have already computed 25. So we are getting 1035 by 25 minus mu x bar whole square, that is 6 whole square. So we are getting 5.5. So we require what? Standard deviation. So mu x bar is 6 and sigma x bar is square root of 5.4. Now, here, third question what they asked, let us consider random samples without replacement. So, without replacement means what? Once you have chosen, it's job over. You cannot replace it back. So, n possible ways. With replacement means n power n. Without replacement means NCN. N capital N is large sample, that is 5, and small n is sample size 2. So 5C2 means 10 ways. What are those ways? 2, 3, 2, 6, 2, 8, 2, 11. Only 4 possibility from this 2. Next go for 3. 3, 6, 3, 8, 3, 11. Next 6, 8, 6, 11, 8, 11. Right? So these are the possibilities. Now what are the means of these samples? 2 plus 3 by 2, that is 2.5. Next 2 plus 6 by 2, that is 4. 2 plus 8 by 2, that is find 5. Next 2 plus 11 by 2, that is 6.5. 3 plus 6 by 2, that is 4.5. 3 plus 8 by 2, that is 5.5. Next 3 plus 11 by 2, that is what? 14 by 2 means 7. Next 6 plus 8 by 2, that is again 7. 6 plus 11 by 2, that is 8.5. 8 plus 11 by 2, that is 9.5. So these are the what? Mean, sample mean, right? Now how to find population mean? Mu x bar, that is nothing but what? Add all these and divided by how many? 3, 6, 9, 10. So divided by n numbers here. So what we are getting? 60 by 10, that is equal to 6. How to find sigma x square? Find out. So 1 by n into xi minus mu whole square. So 1 by 10 into here xi minus mu whole square means just apply here. Xi means 2.5, mu means 6. So 2.5 minus 6 whole square plus 4 minus 6 whole square, like that. You have to compute it for each and every value. You will get 40.5 divided by 10. That is nothing but 4.05. So what we will get at the end? So mu x bar is 6 and sigma x bar is square root of variance, that is 4.05, right? Now let us move to the another example. What they given here? What they given here? A population consists of four numbers 3, 7, 11, 15. Find the mean and standard deviation of the sampling distribution of means by considering samplings of size 2 with the replacement. So with the replacement is easy to compute, right? Now what is population mean here? Mu equal to what? Add all 3 plus 7 plus 11 plus 15 divided by 4. So what you will get? So 10, 10 plus here 21, 21 plus 15 means 36 by 4, that is 9. What is population variance? That is 1 by n into xi minus mu whole square, right? So 1 by n is what? Small n, that is 4. So 1 by 4 into what? Each and every value 3 minus 9 whole square plus 7 minus 9 whole square plus 11 minus 9 whole square plus 15 minus 9 whole square. So what you will get here? Compute this. So this is minus 6 whole square, this is minus 2 whole square, this is plus 2 whole square, this is plus 6 whole square. Simplify this divided by 40. This divided by 4. What you will get here? Answer is 20. So what is mu? Mu is 9. And what is the standard deviation? Square root of variance, that is root 20. Now what they asked here? Find the mean and standard deviation that we have done. Now with the replacement. Now let us consider sample of size 2 with the replacement. With the replacement means what? Each and every possibility. That is 3, 3, 3, 7, 3, 11, 3, 15. Next 7, 3, 7, 7, 7, 11, 7, 15. 11, 3, 11, 7, 11, 11, 11, 15. Next 15, 3, 15, 7, 15, 11, 15, 15. So all possible combinations are there. Now find its mean and all. Then find the frequency. What you will get here? See, sampling mean is what here? Just to find the mean here. 3 plus 3 divided by 2, that is 3. 3 plus 7 divided by 2, that is what? 5. 3 plus 11 divided by 2, that is 7. 3 plus 15 divided by 2, 9. Similarly, 7 plus 3 by 2 means 5. 7 plus 7 divided by 2 means 7. 7 plus 11 by 2 means 9. 7 plus 15 divided by 2, like that you have to 14, like that you have to compute. So you will get like this. That here you will get 7, 9, 11, 13. Here next 9, 11, 13, 15. So what are the sample means you got at the end? It starts from 3 and ends with the 15. So write 3, then 5. You have to write it in proper order. 3, 5, 7, 9, then 11, 13, 15. Frequency, how many times appeared 3? Only once. 5 appeared 2 times. 7 appeared 3 times. 9 appeared 4 times, right? Next, 11 appeared 3 times. 13 appeared 2 times. 15 appeared 1 time. So what is mu x? How to find mu x? Mean here, that is mu x bar sample mean, that is nothing but summation f x by summation f. So 3 into 1 plus 5 into 2 plus 7 into 3 plus 9 into 4 plus 11 into 3 plus 13 into 2 plus 15 into 1. Whole divided by summation f, sum of the frequency. 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1, like that. So summation fx we are getting 144 and summation f we are getting 16. So answer is 9. How to compute sigma x square? That is summation fx square divided by summation f. That is nothing but minus mu x whole square. Mu x already we found. Summation fx square means 1 into 3 square plus 2 into 5 square plus 3 into 7 square plus 4 into 9 square plus 3 into 11 square plus 2 into 13 square plus 1 into 15 square. So after simplification you will get 1456 divided by summation f already we computed, that is 16, and minus what is mu x bar already computed, 9 whole square. So what you will get at the end? Sigma x square equal to 10. Now how to compute the standard deviation? Square root of variance, that is square root of 10 is the answer, and mu x bar is 9, right? Now next problem. Here what is given? The weights of 1500 ball bearings are normally distributed with a mean of 635 grams and standard deviation of 1.36 grams. If 300 random samples of size 36 are drawn from this population, determine the expected mean and standard deviation of the sampling distribution of means if sampling is done with the replacement. Now find how many random samples would have their mean. First one, between 634.76 grams and 635.24 grams. Second one, greater than 635.5 grams. Third one, less than 634.2 grams. And last one, less than 634.5 grams or more than 635.24 grams. Here first you have to write what and all given quantities. First large sample given, capital N, that is equal to 1500. And what is sample size given? Sample size is nothing but small n, that is 36 given. Next, what they given here? Mean, that is mean mu given, mu is what? 635. And standard deviation sigma given 1.36, right? Now we have to find the expected mean. Expected mean given here, yes, expected mean is nothing but the normal mean only here, that is 635. Now what is standard deviation? Sigma x bar, that is sigma by root n, that is 1.36 divided by root n is nothing but root 36, that is 6, which is equal to 0.227. Now let us discuss, after finding out this one, let us discuss one by one point what and all they have given condition. First, we assume that the population is normal population because they have already given mean, variance and all. So, assume normal population, and hence the sampling distribution of means is also taken to be distributed normally. So, what is the standard normal variate for normal distribution? Z equal to x minus mu by sigma. This we have already done in the case of sampling distribution of means, right? Now, how to write its equivalent form? Instead of x, x bar, instead of mu, mu x bar, instead of sigma, sigma x bar, because we are discussing here for large samples where we have mu x bar is what? Mu x bar is mu only here, 635. And what is sigma x bar? That is 0.227. So what is z here? Standard normal variate. X bar minus mu x bar by sigma x bar, that is x bar as it is minus 635 divided by 0.227, right? Now first case, what is given? Probability of a sample having mean between 634.76 and 635.24 is represented by what? How to represent? Lies between this and this value. So, P of 634.76 less than X less than 635.24. Now, how to write here? X bar equal to what? Z bar equal to what? You have to compute first. Now 634.76, that means here Z equal to what? X minus mu by sigma. You have the formula, right? Use that. So you will get what? Minus 0.24 divided by 0.227, that is minus 1.06. Similarly, for this what you will get here? For this positive value, right? Each and every term you compute. So 0.24 divided by 0.227, that is plus 1.06. For this side you will get computation minus 1.06, and this we have already taken x minus mu by sigma is what? Z. No, see here. For each and every you have to compute this. So first term x is what given, and mu and sigma x is fixed. Just you need to replace x bar. For the first case, x bar is what here? X bar is 634.76, and for the next one, so for x bar equal to 634.76, so z value is what? 634.76 minus what? Minus 635 divided by 0.227. So you will get minus 1.06. Similarly, for x bar equal to 635.24, what you will get? Replace it in the formula. That is 635.5.24 minus 635 divided by 0.227. You will get 1.06. Now apply the condition of normal distribution table. So what is that? Here P of minus 1.06 less than Z less than 1.06. Z is nothing but what? X minus mu by sigma. That is standard normal variate. We have to apply for each and every case under normal distribution. So you have one of the very important property. Here the same value is there, but here negative, here positive. That is P of minus A less than Z less than plus A means 2 times phi of A or 2 times area covered by A. So how to write this one? 2 times phi of 1.06. Directly you can use. But what is phi of 1.06? 1.0 row, 0.06 column. If you check in the standard normal distribution table, you will get 0.3554. So 2 into 0.3554 is what? 0.7108. But we need to calculate it for how many samples? 300 samples. So thus we have corresponding to 300 samples, the expected number of sample having their mean between 634.76 and 635.24 grams is given by what? You have to multiply this with this 300. You will get 213.24. That is 213 samples which lies between these grams, right? Now, next case, what is given second case? To find here P of x bar greater than 635.5. So what you will get here? Again you have to standardize the given expression. What is that? X bar means x bar minus mu by sigma. Similarly here 635.5 minus mu by sigma. Do that. Here this x minus mu by sigma means z. So 635.5 minus 635 by 0.227, that gives us what? Here 2.203 we will get. So that means what? P of z greater than 2.203. Or directly you can apply the property, that is P of z greater than value means 0.5 minus 5 of that value. No need to write this property. Directly you can use the property. So P of z greater than this means 0.5 minus 5 of this value. So 0.5 minus 5 of 2.203 means what? Into 2th row 0.2 column you can check, or sorry 2.2th row 0 column you have to check. So you will get 0.4861. Now after simplification 0.5 minus 0.4861 you will get 0.0139. But we have to calculate it for 300 samples. So what we have to do? Multiply this with the 300. So you will get 4.17. Therefore 4 sample is what? Greater than 0.635.5 grams, right? Now next condition, third condition, what are they given? Find P of x bar less than 634.2 for 300 samples. Now for first we have to discuss how to standardize it. So what is x bar? Here wherever x bar minus mu by sigma you have to write and call it as z. Similarly for this value also, that value minus mu by sigma, that is 634.2 minus 635 divided by 0.227. Now if you simplify this you will get minus 3.52. Now since we are getting P of z less than 3.52, can we write it in the form of positive value? So less than minus means greater than positive. So P of z greater than 3.52. How to simplify this? 0.5 minus area covered in this one. So 0.5 minus 5 of 3.52. So what you will get? 0.5 minus, compute from 3.5th row, compute 0.02 column. So you will get 0.4998. That is 0.5 minus 0.4998 means 0.0002. Now for the 300 samples, multiply this value with the 300, you will get 0.06. That is nothing but 0 samples which is less than 634.2 grams. Okay. Now here next condition, what they given? Find P of x bar less than 634.5 plus P of x bar greater than 635.24 for 300 samples. That we can compute later at the end. Now first standardize again. Here for x bar 634.5 means 634.5 minus mu by sigma, you will get minus 2.2. Similarly, if you compute this for, you will get 1.06. And this x bar becomes what? X bar minus mu by sigma. For both the case, it will be z. So what we will get here? P of z less than minus 2.2 plus P of z greater than 1.06. Now simplify this, what you will get? P of z less than negative quantity. So z less than minus 2.2 means P of z greater than 2.2, and this is obviously positive, and here no need to apply this property. Directly you can write 0.5 minus 5 of 2.2 plus, again this is 0.5 minus 5 of 1.06. Here 0.5 plus 0.5 means 1 minus 5 of 2.2 plus 5 of 1.06. So compute in 2.2 2 rows, 0 column, you will get 0.4861 in the normal distribution table. Then in the 1.0th row, 0.06 column you compute, you will get 0.3554. So after simplification, 1 minus this sum means 0.1585. Now we need to compute it for what? 300 samples. So therefore for 300 samples, what we will get? 300 into 0.1585, that is 47.55, that is 48 sample, which satisfies the above condition. Okay. Now let us move to one more problem. Certain tubes manufactured by a company have mean lifetime 800 hours and standard deviation of 60 hours. Find the probability that a random sample of 16 tubes taken from the group will have a mean lifetime. First one, between 790 hours and 810 hours, less than 785 hours, more than 820 hours, and between 770 hours and 830 hours. Dear students, here you can easily work out. It is same as your previous sum. First write what and all given here. Here they have given mean mu equal to 800, standard deviation sigma equal to 60, and here n sample size, that is n equal to 16. Now what is sigma x bar? Because we need to find the sample mean, right? And this is the population mean, whatever they have given mu. So what is sample mean? Sigma x bar can be find out with the help of sigma by root n. So 60 by root 16, that is 60 by 4, we will get 15 here, right? Now find out z. What is z? X bar minus mu by sigma x bar. So x bar minus 800 by 15. Now what is the first case? We have to find P of 790 less than x bar less than 810. Now first you have to standardize wherever x bar minus mu by sigma, that is z. And for 790, if you apply the same, 790 minus 800 by 15, you will get minus 0.67. Similarly, 810 minus 800 by 15, you will get 0.67. So minus 0.67 to plus 0.67, it varies. Again, you have to apply the property of standard normal variate. So P of minus A2 plus AZ lies between means 2 times phi of A. So 2 times phi of 0.67, that is 2 into 0.2486, that is 0.4972. Now what we have to do here? This is the answer for the given question. Now second one, find P of x bar less than 785. Again we have to compute what? X bar minus mu by sigma x bar, that is nothing but here this is z, and here it will convert to 785 minus 800 divided by sigma x bar. Find out. You will get what? Minus 1, right? Because see here we have already done in a previous case x bar minus 800 by 15. So apply the same here, 785 minus 800 by 15, you will get minus 1. So P of z less than minus 1 means you have to convert it into positive, greater than plus 1. So P of z greater than plus 1 means 0.5 minus phi of 1. What is the area covered in this one? Normal distribution table. So 0.5 minus 0.3413, that is 0.1587 is the answer which satisfies this condition. Now last, what they given? Find P of x bar greater than 820. Again convert it into the standard normal variate, that is x bar minus mu by sigma and 820 minus mu by sigma. So x bar minus mu by sigma means what? Z. Again 820 minus 800 by sigma. So 820 minus 800 by 15, you will get 1.33. Now that is P of z greater than 1.33, that means 0.5 minus phi of 1.33, that is 0.5 minus in 1.3 row, calculate 0.03 column value, that is 0.4082. After simplification you will get 0.0918. Similarly, what about the next condition? P of 770 less than x bar less than 830. Again standardize it. X bar minus mu by sigma x bar means here this is z. 770 minus 800 by 15, 830 minus 800 by 15. You will get here minus 2 and here plus 2. Again it is the standard formula. P of minus a less than z less than a means 2 times phi of a, you can calculate directly. 2 times phi of 2, that is 2 into 0.4772, you will get 0.9544, that is the required answer, right? Now dear students, please go through with the each and every sum under this concept. Thank you.